Well, hello there. How do you feel about microphones? Like these little fellas, or this little fella, or these little fellas? How do you feel about using microphones, whether it's public speaking or recording video or just having to do a speech? A lot of people are intimidated, and if you are, this video is for you. It's also for those of you who want to produce quality content but are not kind of sure what to do about microphones when you shoot video, or you want to do a really serious webinar or presentation or online workshop, and you just want to show up sounding good. So before we go any further, can you hit like and subscribe to this channel? It really helps me defeat the YouTube algorithm and get more views on this work. So what we're going to be looking at today is how do microphones work? What are the different kinds of microphones for different situations? And just really how to become really comfortable with them and just use them effectively. It's not difficult, and I'm going to show you how in this simple video. So why is this important? If you're putting any work out into the world, especially if it's video or presentations or public speaking or just sharing your work and your ideas, you're going to be using your voice and you're going to be putting it out. You're going to be projecting ideas out. It's a well-known fact in the film world, in the content world, that sound is essentially more important than video. It completely determines the quality of output, how believable it is. It's kind of surprising. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched those Instagram posts or YouTube videos where they change the soundtrack to a particular movie, and it can go from a ridiculously scary scene from Aliens and turn it into something that feels like a children's movie just by changing the sound. And the same thing can happen with our voice. We can either sound completely believable and powerful, or we can sound kind of cheap or afraid or just really not that believable. So sound is so important, and microphones are a huge component of capturing it clearly when we're putting our ideas out into the world. Let's look at how a microphone works. This is just a classic stage microphone. It's the Shure SM58. It's used by musicians all across the planet, but you'll find it on stages and at weddings and all kinds of things. And essentially, it's got what's called a pop shield for wind or breath on top of it, but if I unscrew it, you don't need to unscrew it ever really, but you'll just find underneath it, this is the actual kind of microphone bit right there. And what happens is that when I'm speaking, sound waves are created, so that's just literally waves of compressed air go out of my mouth and then land on this diaphragm that essentially moves and wiggles and creates an electrical current, and that electrical current gets then translated into sound on a recording. Now, a good thing to know about microphones is that they generally have one of these pop shields. Like right here, I've got a studio microphone, and what's this? This is a pop shield. It's really just designed to get rid of the p or the f or any blowing onto the microphone. Sound is compressed airwaves, but we don't want excess ones. We want to get rid of the nasty ones, let's just say. So that's why that's there. So this is a microphone. There are lots of different kinds, but I want to say just fall in love with them, make friends with them. They really are there just to support you to deliver your message. So I'll begin with this one. This is a classic stage microphone. One of the interesting things about it is that the microphones can either capture all the sound from the whole room, or they can be very direct. Now, obviously, a singer on a stage doesn't want the guitar and the drums and the crowd and the whole venue to be going into their microphone and then out through the PA speakers. This is very directed, so you can sing in front of it like da 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 da. Your voice will go in there, but sounds coming from the side, from the guitarist or the bassist or whatever else, generally won't so much go into the microphone. Whenever you work with a microphone, let's just say on a stage or doing a presentation, always ask the sound people or the event organizers, how far away from the microphone should I be? Holding microphones like this, this is quite a good distance. You'll see vocalists sometimes will be right up on it. Don't do that. Also, you'll see people doing this when they're doing a speech, like really far away. That's not a good idea. You want to have it relatively close if you're holding it, kind of like this, let's just say, just at a reasonable distance, pointing towards your face, not pointing towards your chest or down here or just something like that. You really want to be speaking deeply into the microphone, and that's where you're going to get the best quality sound coming through. Okay, other kinds of microphones. Let's pretend you were shooting some video on your phone or on a camera, or even straight into your laptop, but you wanted to use good sound. There are two main types, And the first one you'll see all the time. It's called a lavalier or a lapel microphone. So you see this little guy. Note it's got the pop shield on it again, the little fuzzy to avoid that. This is what's called omnidirectional. It collects really the sound all around it, and then you would clip it onto your lapel. You see this with TV presenters all the time. This particular one is actually plugged straight into an iPhone or a normal phone. They are super cheap, really high quality. It's got a long cable and you just literally plug it onto your phone. All you'd need is like a little converter like that, and bam, you've got brilliant sound. I mean, this is just an absolute bargain, this one. I'll list this particular one below the video. And so these things work on being close to your face and close to your head, and then they just pick up the sound of your voice very easily. You can also buy, for example, these little guys. Sometimes you'll see people with this clipped onto their shirt as they're doing presenting, like that. This is kind of bulky, it's a bit weird. What you can actually do is also plug a little lapel microphone into this, so put this in your belt. But the whole point of this is that it's wireless, so if your camera is like over there and you need to stand away from it, these two will talk to each other. And this one has got a microphone in it. See, there's the little microphone, which you might think actually looks quite suspiciously like your cell phone microphone. But either way, you can have this here, and it's another lapel mic. So that's kind of one when you're doing, type 1 when you're doing video. Another one is called like a shotgun microphone. This is a very short shotgun microphone, but they can be very long. They are super directional. So you could have like 2 meters away, like a long shotgun microphone. Like that's what I'm recording with right now. Just up there, I've got a long shotgun microphone pointing towards me, just pointing to around here, around my upper chest neck area. And this could actually just clip straight on top of a camera, for example, or on the top of a cell phone. And it's just meant to be super directional. So it'll just point straight at your face or at your chest and mouth area, and it'll capture the sound. You know, the thing about these microphones is getting it close to you or pointing straight at you, so we don't get all the rest of the room and the wind and the person speaking over there and the car all going into your sound too. This is all about crispy, clear voice. Okay, so these are great for video and content. What am I going to do if I am doing a lot of video, but I'm doing online presentations or, for example, webinars? So I use a shotgun microphone connected to my computer, and it points towards me, but I also use a lavalier, and I'll use this one just plugged into my sound card or plugged into my camera. And sometimes I'll even just leave this on the table just in front of me. Either way, I'll use a quality microphone, because I just want to say that laptop microphones are generally actually just not very good. They're designed to do too many things, whereas you want to use a microphone that's specific for the use of connecting to your voice and picking up your voice and delivering it with premium quality. So really, if you're doing webinars or you're doing workshops online or you're presenting your ideas on computer across the internet, I really must stress that a good microphone is really worthwhile. You can get podcasting microphones like the Blue Yeti. I'll also list that below, that sit on your desktop. They do look a little bit like a giant, excuse my French, but a dildo sitting on your desk. So that can be a little bit like a lot. Otherwise, you'll see people using microphones like this. I prefer not to have something in front of my face when I'm presenting, anything like this, that sort of thing. That's why I use a shotgun over there. So, because you can't see my microphone, but it's doing impeccable work right over there, just above my machine. Okay, so those are some thoughts on this. I will do one specifically, a video at some point specifically about mic types for webinars and public speaking and so on. Really, just another category of microphone are these, and this is a classic kind of studio microphone for singing or doing like an audiobook, that sort of thing. And again, this has got the kind of shield over it, but you'd also use a pop filter like this guy in front of it. And these are extremely sensitive. This is robust. You can swing it around at a rock and roll show. It is very direct. This picks up everything. So you can't really use this in a public venue at all. You want to use this in a very enclosed studio environment and then speak to it like this. And again, this is kind of high audio gear, which you'd use for an audiobook or for singing proper. And these are beautiful and they're sensitive, but they're not practical for, let's just say, ordinary use at home. So that's it, aside from when you're public speaking. And there you might have a lectern that could have some of these, or it could have like long pointy job with a small microphone. whenever you're doing public speaking and you go into that venue, in advance, ask them what their equipment is going to be, ask them about the microphones, ask them to tell you how far away from the microphones you need to be. Be really clear, what happens if I turn my head? How directional are they? So will it still pick, if I'm talking to another person on a panel, for example, will it still pick up my voice? Or do I need to actually kind of talk to the person but then do this so that my voice goes into the microphone? You just want to be talking to the microphone as much as possible, but get advice from the people running the event. Don't be that far away that your voice is like barely heard, and don't sit on top of it eating the microphone. Just find that really beautiful balance so that your voice is present. But what I want to say to you is that all of you are actually pros at using microphones. You use a microphone every day. It sits at the end of your phone, and you're used to, sometimes you'll do this with it, sometimes you'll do that, sometimes you'll put it over there, but you use microphones every day, and it's actually just the same thing. It's just in a slightly different package. These are amazing microphones in their own right, but they're just not pro grade because they multitask. They pick up environmental sounds as well as voice, so you want to use the right tool for the right occasion. That's microphones. I really suggest you make friends with them. If you're putting your work out into the world, I really, really recommend take sound seriously. It pays amazing dividends, and it's beautiful to make your voice sound awesome in your videos, in your recordings, in webinars, and it will really enhance your ability to put out your message into the world and to show up with confidence and just a sense of assurance that you sound beautiful as you're putting your heart into your work and sharing it with the entire universe, or maybe just the internet. So that's it for microphones today. Please like and subscribe. As I said, that is all I have to share about microphones today. I'll do something more specific on different microphone types at another time, but this is a great start. Read the description below for a little bit more detail or links to gear if you're interested in actually buying some of this stuff. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.